Okay.
So, David, we were talking about the fact that a lot of agents are looking for this big secret to succeed at this business, telesales, whatever. It's really all the combined little things that you do that separates the guys that really produce and ladies that produce at a high level versus those that don't. But
right.
Showing up consistently, the little, we call them 1%.
Right.
1% things. But what were we sharing?
When it comes to being consistent in terms of productivity, it's very, very simple. And it's also easy because all you have to do is commit to doing the action every day. It's like, we've all heard fortunes in the follow-up. It takes X amount of times to follow up to make a sale. They're all of those things are very true, but what you really need to build is the habit of the activity, right? Are you talking to the leads? Are you following up with the leads? Do you have a system in order to do all of those things? Because when if I go back 2 years, the way that I do business now compared to then, it's night and day. And I was working probably harder because in terms of, not harder in terms of the effort I'm putting in, but the energy that it took. I didn't have a system. I didn't have all of these little things to make it seamless. It was going through papers. Did I talk to this person? When's the last time I called them? Now it's I open up my computer, I see my calendar, I know by our color codes, I know who's a firm appointment that day, who's a follow-up that day, and who's a brand new appointment that day.
Yep.
And so most of my sales, I just did a $140,000 transfer for someone I've been helping or I've been in communication with for over 2 months. And that's very, very common, especially the more detailed or bigger the case is.
Yeah, larger sales.
Right. So the fortune is in the follow-up. And the people really, really appreciate it. One of the things that people say to me all the time now is thank you for your persistency. One, because I tell them up front, God's gifted me with not a whole lot of things, but persistency is certainly one of them. So if you give me permission to continue to follow up with you, you don't have to worry about that. I will follow up with you until you tell me to stop. And most people are very grateful because it's been my experience, and you could attest to this, that it's just whenever you're reaching out to someone, that time isn't the right time for them that day, right? So it's, okay, let me get back to them because it is a need for them. There's still a problem, and you still need to help them solve it. And it's your job as the agent to follow up.
Yeah, and that's worth clarifying because we're not dialing people, making phone calls, trying to chase people that don't have an interest in what we're talking to them about. Whether it's life insurance, whatever it is. I mean, they have an interest that the interest is there. But like you said, so much of it is about timing, and a lot of times with large ticket sales, there's multiple touches, multiple processes to get the quote sale completed.
Right, and some people there's a longer runway of trust. If you didn't see them face to face and you did a Zoom meeting, well, there's a trust barrier there that you'll have to learn to overcome. Everybody's a little bit different, right? Like if it's my dad, he's going to put you through the ringer because the trust is a very important thing.
But after somebody talks to your dad 15 different times,
they trust you.
They feel comfortable, they get to know you.
Yep. And the thing that in the sales industry, some people look at, if you're not in the business of sales, some people look at, a used car salesman. Well, yes, we sell, but what we really do is solve problems. Like you just said, I'm not chasing someone who has no interest. I'm way too busy to do that.
That's usually people doing that or people that aren't investing enough in their leads and marketing,
right?
And they're trying to chase the same few people that aren't interested. That's not what we do.
Correct.
Because if you speak to someone, and there's a difference between a smoke screen and someone that's not interested. Now it's a little bit of an art to learn to recognize that. But when you make thousands and thousands of dials and you speak to a lot of people, you start recognizing. But if someone has zero interest in what you can help them with, those are not the people that you're continuing to call back. You want to move through those people quickly.
Correct. If you're not interested, tell me right away. I'm not in the game. I'm not going to ask, how's your kid doing that I've never met in my entire life, because you're not interested in my children. I'm here to help you solve the problem that you have. Now, we have a relationship that's different. Right. But I'm the professional helping them with their problem, right? If I can't solve it or don't have the ability to solve it, they need to move on too, and they do. Now, flip side, if there's a problem I know that I can help them with, then it's my duty and my obligation to do everything I can to help them, and then it's their choice if they want to take the information or not.
Okay.
But we do move on. But the people that are interested, you stay on them. Just because they haven't answered during the week doesn't mean they're not interested.
Right.
It's just staying on
busy.
top of
It means they're busy.
They're busy. Your job is to get back in front of them.
Yep, absolutely. And we were talking about the little things, because it's the little, like we do trainings every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little things, like agents that want to learn show up. You know,
Right.
we're doing a live event tomorrow or
Mm-hmm.
day after tomorrow, this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and it's showing up. It's
Right.
those little things. I mean, that make a big difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's following up like the sale you just made 13 times instead of stopping at 12. What if you'd stopped at 12 follow-up calls?
Yeah, because it was a 2-month ordeal, but I knew this individual needed the help, right?
Yeah.
It was my job to not push it too far, but be persistent. And if I say I'm going to call, I called. If I said I was going to text, I texted. You know, just because they didn't respond, that's their part. I'm doing what I said I would do. So that's and honestly, that's a separation, because most agents aren't going to continue going because they don't want to bother the person.
Right.
In my eyes, I'm not doing my job if I didn't speak to you again. If you don't tell me yes or if you don't tell me no, they're the same. It doesn't matter if you tell me no, it doesn't matter if you tell me yes. I'm looking for one of those answers. And it's my job to get to one of those answers. That way the person has evaluated the situation, and then they chose what was best for them during that time.
Yeah. Well, on to a different subject. You, David, you've achieved some good athletic things. And I mean, in your past.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to brag. I can brag on you. I mean, you've been to some College World. You've been to the College World Series. I mean, you've been an actor. I know I joke about that. But is there anything that you hold as valuable as being what do people refer to the Summit Cup as?
Well, I remember sitting down with Tiger Woods this spring right before the tournament, and he said there's not a trophy that's more beautiful than the Summit Cup, and I agreed with him.
Yeah.
And I said that 36 years I've dreamed about this since I came out of my mother's womb, of winning the Summit Cup. It's the most prestigious, they do call it the fifth major.
The fifth major.
The most prestigious cup in golf. And I'm just honored to be a champion. And we'll have another Summit Cup this spring coming up in
summer, yeah.
Yeah, this summer we do the Summit Cup once a year, and it's a great way to kick off the second part of the year. A lot of fun with our agents. They all come in town and we play a big golf tournament.
Do you think, though, I mean, you won the Summit Cup this past summer, and you've been able to just carry that with you. How much do you think that victory has helped you with your confidence in sales? I mean, just knowing that you're a Summit Cup champion.
Well, I think it's equated to about 96% of my sales.
Really?
The confidence that it gave me, because I just look at it every day when I come into the office as I pour my cup of coffee, and I'm just grateful.
Yeah, well, I hope you can defend it. We're gonna be coming at you in the summer. So hey, we like to have a lot of fun. We support agents. We got some storms coming in, but we support agents nationwide. So if you're looking for an agency to partner with to help you with selling life insurance over the phone or in the field, but we specialize in selling over the phone. We'd love to partner with you.
Yeah, fill out that link below if you're interested. Like Rich just said, we're an agency of growers. We want to continue to grow. We want to be 1% better every single day, and we like to have a lot of fun. So if that's something that you'd be interested in, fill out that link below. We'll reach out to you. And also, don't forget, we got a book coming out, Discipline to Dial, so make sure to check it out.